Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Lang. I'm the Training Bureau Commander. And on behalf of Chief Elaine Bryant and members of the Columbus Division of Police, I welcome you to the graduation of the 135th recruit class. Officer Jenkins, take charge of the class.
Class, again, forward, march. Your left, your left, your left, right, left, your left, your left, your left, right, left, left, left. Count, change the lane.
Please stand for the presentation of colors by the Columbus Police Honor Guard and the Pledge of Allegiance. Then please remain standing for the invocation by Police Chaplain Rabbi Harold Berman. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, on. Right, face. Forward, march.
Rabbi Berman.
Asking God's blessing on a remarkable day, a wonderful day of achievement. I've always been inspired by the story which comes at the end of the biblical book of Numbers, where God tells Moses he will not be allowed to cross into the promised land. Moses, for all he's done, for all the grief he has endured, gets the axe from God just as things are going well. And what does he say? He doesn't say a word about how unfair it is. He doesn't file a complaint, although he'll ask for some reconsideration later. What he does is look out for the needs of the people he has led. For all the times they've challenged him, for all the insults he has endured, Moses has never lost sight of what it was all for. What does he ask? He asks for a leader of quality who will be able to succeed him. He asked for those people he has served to be led effectively by someone who isn't afraid of the challenge. He asked about the needs of others, not of himself. That's leadership. That's devotion. And that is the model for those who really care about people. It isn't what comes in return. It isn't about the rewards, which are surely inadequate. It isn't about thanks. It isn't even about the opportunity to see a task finished, because tasks that are most important are ongoing and never really end. It's about devotion and commitment, about serving the community for no reason other than that the community needs leadership and guidance. And it is about caring that the job is done right, no matter who gets the credit or the glory. I believe this is, in a way that's only slightly different, the assignment every police officer steps forward to accept. Each and every one deserves far more thanks than will ever be offered. And each and every one is deserving of God's blessing and protection every day. May God be with you. And may all that you do and all that you work for be good and worthy in God's sight. And let us say, Amen.
Thank you, sir. Please be seated. Class, seats. I'd like to start by introducing the distinguished guests on stage who will help us celebrate this graduation. Please hold your applause until everyone is introduced. Mayor of Columbus, Andrew Ginther. City Council President, Shannon Hardin. City Council Member, Mitchell Brown. Columbus Police Deputy Chief, Tim Becker. You've already met Police Chaplain Rabbi Harold Berman. Columbus Fire Assistant Chief Chris Blair. Gahanna Police Chief Jeff Spence. Grove City Police Chief Richard Butzko Jr. Hilliard Police Chief Eric Grau. New Albany Police Chief Greg Jones. OSU Police Chief Kimberly Spears McNatt. And Westerville Assistant Police Chief Steve Fridley. The basic training staff members who were responsible for the training and guidance of these new officers over the last 31 weeks are Lieutenant Donald Oliverio, Sergeant Laura Suber, Officer Deborah Ayers, Officer Scott Davidson, Officer Aaron Getzinger, Officer Catherine Horvath, Officer Matt Jenkins, Officer Martin Kessner, Officer Chad Canode, Officer Jackson Rennie. I'd like to thank the staff for their continued significant contributions to this recruit class and to the Training Bureau. It is because of this staff's dedication that I can say I am very proud of this entire class for their accomplishments in meeting the challenges of becoming professional police officers. On Monday, December 14th, 2020, I directed Lieutenant Oliverio to take charge of the 135th recruit class. Lieutenant Oliverio, report.
Sir, 58 recruits began academy training as members of the 135th recruit class. Today, 52 remain and are prepared to graduate. Over the last 31 weeks, all have completed 1,240 hours of training and have satisfied all requirements of the state of Ohio and their respective municipalities. Sir, all 52 members of the 135th recruit class now stand ready to serve. The city of Columbus, the city of Gahanna, Grove City, the city of Hilliard, the city of New Albany, the Ohio State University, the city of Westerville. Sir!
Well done, Lieutenant. Every recruit class elects class officers. The officers for the 135th class are President, Officer Zachary Rome. Vice President, Officer Douglas Reisinger. Secretary, Officer Trier Knieper. Treasurer, Officer Shaquille Perry. And Orator, Officer Riley Mitchell. At this time, Officer Knieper will recite the Code of Ethics.
As an employee of the Columbus Division of Police, I will obey the rules, regulations, policies, duties, and responsibilities of my position. I will honor my oath as an officer by acting at all times in an ethical and trustworthy manner. I will make decisions based on the values of the organization, which include integrity, compassion, accountability, respect, and excellence. To earn the trust of the community I serve, the Code of Ethics will serve as my guiding principles. I will exhibit integrity by being truthful, transparent, accountable, and dependable in all matters, having the courage to do what is right, lawfully exercising the authority vested in me without entitlement and never abusing my position or benefits, reporting misconduct, discrimination, or unethical behavior within my organization. I will exhibit compassion by dedicating myself to ensuring the safety and security of the people in my community, using discretion wisely and making decisions that are reasonable, fair, and impartial, treating everyone with dignity, responsiveness, and civility, no matter their conduct, engaging in a collaborative effort with the community to share in the responsibility for crime control and public safety. I will exhibit accountability by being responsible for my own standard of performance and taking every opportunity to improve my levels of motivation and competence, recognizing that I am held to a higher standard, that it is my privilege to serve this noble cause, and that I have an extraordinary leadership role in society and the opportunity to make a difference. Reporting for work physically and mentally prepared to perform my assigned duties. Standing against bribery, corruption, complacency, and resisting temptation. I will exhibit respect by building relationships of trust based on character and communication, not intimidation or force. Acting in a manner that protects life and maintains peace and order. Defending justice, liberty, the innocent and vulnerable, and the rights of all. Valuing the diversity of our community and organization while acting in a manner that reflects honor on me, the Division of Police, and the City of Columbus. Abstaining from affiliation with any defined hate group. I will exhibit excellence by never using excessive, punitive, or coercive force, controlling my emotions and persevering despite pain, fear, and exhaustion. Staying positive, even when discouraged by scorn, crime, evil, or seemingly hopeless circumstances. Working with a spirit of teamwork and cooperation internally and externally. And as a police officer, I will revere my badge as a symbol of public trust to be held so long as I am true to my code of ethics.
Thank you, Officer Knieper. Please join me in welcoming Mayor of Columbus, Andrew Ginther.
Thank you, Commander. Good morning. It is a great morning here in the city of Columbus, and so grateful for this incredible group of public servants who have answered the call. Before we start this morning, I'd like to ask each and every one of you to join me in taking a moment to pray for one of our family members. Deputy Chief Tom Quinlan's wife, Jennifer, was in a serious car accident and is in the hospital. And so I'd ask each and every one of you to join me for just a moment to lift her and the Quinlan family up in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you. Prayer is a powerful thing, and I thank you for joining me to pray for Jennifer. I'm honored to be here with you to celebrate the 135th Columbus Police Recruit Class. I want to start off by recognizing and thanking two very special people who are finishing up their distinguished careers. We wouldn't be here today. These outstanding public servants wouldn't be graduating today. Of course, in addition to Council President Hardin and Chairman Mitch Brown providing the funding for this class, Safety Director Ned Pettis, and recently retired Interim Chief Mike Woods. First, I want to recognize former Interim Chief Michael Woods. He's been a steadfast and level-headed leader in the division for over 30 years. In fact, I believe it was 33. He stepped up to the plate to take on the role of interim chief during a very difficult time for our city. I'm grateful for the thoughtfulness and the empathy he demonstrated during our search for the new chief of police. So I want to thank publicly, as I have personally, Chief Woods for his 33 years of service, sacrifice, and dedication. And now I want to recognize Safety Director Ned Pettis. Director Pettis has been a guiding force in the effort to strengthen and improve our city's most essential services, both during his time as Safety Director and his time as the city's first African-American fire chief. 40 years of service to this community. So I don't just want to thank those two individuals, but the Woods family and the Pettis family for sharing them with us for so many years. These changes, the reforms that resulted in our safety forces, better reflect and serve our community, and I'm grateful for their service. I don't have to remind any of you of the challenges of the past year. As we see every day, the global pandemic has created both a health crisis and an economic crisis in our community and in cities around the country. We continue to work through a national reckoning over racial inequality and heed calls for police reform and social justice. Our city and communities across the country are seeing an increase in violent crime and record-setting spikes in homicides. But despite these unprecedented challenges, you committed your journey to join the Columbus Division of Police and law enforcement agencies across the region. I'm impressed with your deep commitment during these uncertain times. It is no secret that policing is changing from a 20th century law enforcement model to a 21st century community policing one. Over the years, we have added more and more responsibilities to our officers, expecting them to address societal issues from truancy to addiction to homelessness. We are changing that by bringing in social workers and addiction specialists, paramedics and firefighters, helping to allow our police officers to do what they are trained to do, keep our residents safe. Let me be clear. We are not investing less in police or neighborhood safety, but instead investing more in new and different safety strategies. Just as our officers commit to the people of Columbus, this city has to commit to our officers. So we've invested in technologies like body-worn cameras, which have been proven to be critical both in solving crimes and, again, community police relations, increasing accountability on both sides of the camera. We're building a health and wellness center for police and fire. We're investing in an early warning system that will help supervise, recognize when officers may be struggling with the rigors of the job. It is our responsibility to invest in you and your well-being to ensure that every day you put on the uniform, you're able to bring your very best to serve the people of Columbus. Today, you graduate from a nationally accredited police academy, and you represent one of the most diverse classes, reflecting the beautiful diversity of our great community. You've gone through extensive and grueling training, but your experience as a police officer is just beginning. When you leave here today, you'll be paired with experienced officers to undergo additional field training. As you gain experience, earn new assignments, and are promoted through the ranks, you will continue to learn new strategies and tactics and employ new technologies. You will be assigned to communities all over our region and city. You will become a member of the communities in which you serve. As you embark on this new chapter of your lives, please know that we will continue to support you and help keep you safe. The Division of Police makes it possible for us to function and thrive as the 14th largest city in the country. We need you. I pray for you each and every day. I also pray for your families, because we know it's not just officers who serve, it is their families too. Please accept the thanks of a grateful city and region for choosing service over self and for keeping our neighborhoods safe. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Mayor Ginther. We will now hear from City Council President Shannon Hardin.
Good morning, Commander, to our mayor, to Chief Becker, to all the chiefs that represent communities all across Central Ohio, to Commander Lang, who runs this organization, to Rabbi Berman, and to especially the families of these officers who are graduating today. It's good to see you back in this building. I asked Commander Lang, how many classes did we miss over the last year where we didn't have family members here? And he said 2 of our graduating classes were not able to have their family physically with them. So it is really good to have you back here. I too want to thank Director Pettis for his amazing service to this community, to our city, to the fire department, to public safety in Columbus. You have served us and served us well, and we are grateful. As I was sitting here and hearing the mayor thank both Chief Woods and Director Pettis, I realized that one of my own deserves an appreciation, a thanks, and a retirement. My council member, my colleague, my mentor, Council Member Mitch Brown, who has served 15 years as a former public safety director, and 6 years on Columbus City Council, all of those years serving as chair of the safety department. This will be his last graduating class of the Columbus Division of Police. Would you please recognize his service to the city of Columbus? On behalf of all of my colleagues in Columbus City Council, I'm happy to be with you today to simply say congratulations. Not only did you make it through the academy, but you did so during the COVID pandemic, and that's a feat that we should be proud of. I also want to thank the training staff here at the academy for pivoting and adjusting their training during such a demanding time. A month ago, the mayor and I came out to the academy to sit down and chat with some of the folks who are graduating today. What I can say for sure are these folks are ready to serve the people of Columbus. You are ready for reform and to do whatever it takes to make Columbus safer. The public and those in elected office need to give you the space to do your jobs, to lend a hand to crack down on the crime that we're seeing, to build trust and encourage witnesses to come forward and speak up regarding acts of violence. For there is no return to normal if we cannot stop the killings plaguing neighborhoods and the reckless few who are shooting children in our streets. Black folks, white folks, we must all be working together to solve these problems. We must reconcile our past, we must take responsibility for our mistakes, and commit to common sense solutions. This starts with a recommitment to community policing. A couple weeks ago, I sat down in a neighbor's backyard on the hilltop. We talked about a yellow house 1 street over. The drug dealers were selling drugs out of that house. They had domestic violence issues there. We talked with the police and how the police, the neighbors, and the city attorney's zone initiatives were all working together to build a case against this dangerous property. And as the rain poured down and cut our conversation short in that backyard, I thought that this was a perfect example of community engagement and neighborhood policing. I'm passionate about building trust and keeping our neighborhood safe, not just because it's my #1 priority as City Council President, but because it's personal to me. I have family in this division. I need these folks to succeed, because when they succeed, Columbus succeeds. I'm asking you to be, we need you to be the best public servants you can be. I'm asking you to be a part of making Columbus better and shifting our culture. Residents must see our police beyond the badge as folks who are part of this community and who want to keep them safe. And our police must see our residents as neighbors and a part of their community, regardless of the zip code or the zone in which they work. And just as I don't own every past bad decision of the elected officials who came before me, these fine graduates don't have to own the past actions of officers that don't meet their values. I'm excited to be here today because you are the future of the police department. In fact, you're the future of our city. You are younger, you are more diverse, and you have new experiences. As council works to support you, you can also expect us to continue the conversations around reform, continue to work to rebuild trust between the community and law enforcement. It's about creating a trustworthy public safety system that keeps us all safe, both officers and residents. Our residents get it. We can reform and we can change. We can do it while police do their jobs to keep the people safe. A lot of people are scared right now as we face this unprecedented violence racking our city. I'll be ready to stand with community leaders and safety officials to do whatever is necessary to end these senseless killings. We will do it while we try to bridge the gaps between residents and police. We will build trust while enforcing the laws. We can get shooters off the streets while protecting the rights of citizens. I believe this city has the guts to get through this. I know we do, to rebuild trust and to keep our communities safe. I pray that God continues to build a hedge around you, to bless you, to send you home every day that you do this job. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, President Hardin. Please join me in welcoming Director of Public Safety Ned Pettis for remarks and the oath of office.
Thank you, Commander. Thank you, Mayor Ginther, President Hardin, our distinguished officials and guests, and welcome to everyone. Today is a great day for the City of Columbus as we welcome 41 new law enforcement leaders into our community and celebrate the graduation of 11 additional officers who will serve in other communities. It goes without saying that you've come through the academy during unprecedented times, but I want you to know that I recognize it. COVID-19 and all of its cascading impacts hovered over your training, requiring extra care, added precautions, and flexibility. Through it all, you rose to the challenge. You entered this academy after a summer of protests unlike anything in your lifetimes. At the heart of those protests, issues of policing, race, anguish, and outrage. Through it all, you persevered. As demands for police reform led to greater scrutiny and changes in how you will do your jobs, you stayed focused on your goals and training. As challenging and demanding as this time has been, I want you to know that everything you've been through in this difficult, emotional, exceptional year will serve you in your career. Every hurdle you faced, every task you've mastered, every time you've been knocked down and gotten back up has strengthened and served you. As you advance in your career, you will look back on each other as brothers and sisters who took this oath during one of the most extraordinary, trying times in American history. And you still raise your right hand today in order to serve. This job has always asked big things of those who wear the badge, running toward the danger, taking on the challenging, putting your lives on the line to do good for others, facing the risks and conquering the fear in service to your city. And you will do this without regard of the gender, color, or background of the person calling for help. The scrutiny is intense. It has to be because the responsibility is enormous. The standards are high. They must be because the stakes can literally be life and death. It takes a special kind of person to accept all of that and answer this call. There are not adequate words to describe the service, selflessness, and importance of the work you will do, or the respect and gratitude I have for every single one of you. As I shared yesterday, I will be retiring in September. That means this will be my final graduation ceremony. One of the legacies I am most proud of is the creation of our police and fire cadet programs. Among today's graduates are 3 members of our inaugural class of cadets. The idea of the cadet program is to open the door to a career in public safety to communities who have long been underrepresented. Representation builds connection and trust. That is essential as we strive to better reflect and serve our wonderfully diverse city. Cadets Montgomery, Parker, and Reyes, you are examples of dreams realized and opportunities seized. You are proof of what opportunity plus hard work and determination can do. As I look back on a 40-year career with the City of Columbus, I am grateful, humbled, and hopeful. Grateful for all that God has given me. Humbled by the opportunity to work alongside so many outstanding public servants and leaders. And hopeful because of you. These are difficult days. They have been for many months now, and likely will be for some time to come. But when I look at you, the next generation of peacekeepers, I have great hope. I leave you with this. Remember to rely on the training, policies, and procedures you've learned in the academy. You will be dealing with people on what may be the worst day of their life, and they will be counting on you to do the right thing. Your background, how you were raised, your education, faith, and morals all contribute to who you are. They will determine your level of empathy, sympathy, integrity, and compassion. They also determine your moral compass. We have provided the training to utilize these important qualities, but how you put them into practice is now up to you. We are counting on you. Your community is counting on you. And thank you for answering the call to serve, and congratulations to all of you. Commander Lang, because they have accepted this responsibility, please prepare them to stand, raise their right hand, and repeat after me.
Yes, sir. Class, 10, up. Raise your right hand.
Please repeat after me. I, and state your full name.
I, Zachary David Rowe.
Douglas Lee Reisinger.
Trier Alexis Knieper.
Shaquille Malik Perry.
Riley Alexander Mitchell.
Kelsey Marie Alex.
Lala G. Markham.
David G. Antoine II.
Fred Armstrong III.
Bashir Aziz. Adam P. Bauer. Jordan Lee Burgos.
Philip Ryan Callahan.
Jacob Christopher Cabrera.
Jesse Aaron Chandler. Kevin Christopher James.
Michael D. Church. Nicholas Lee Pope.
Kenneth Phillip Crown.
Ricky Lee Craig II. Nicholas J. Demidovich.
Emily Ann Downing.
David Joe P. Feltner.
William Grayson Stock Foster.
Andrew Joseph Hickman.
Steve J. Huber. Robert Heights. Fort Michael.
Gail J. Potter. Ian E. Mansberger.
Ariel G. Mary.
Timothy Ray Montgomery Jr.
Justin Michael Davies.
Keisha Orsini. Amy Ortega.
E.H. Ortega.
Ashley Michelle Parker.
Isaac Pfeiffer. Edward Joseph Powell Ford.
Ashley Reyes.
Adam Wayne Showalter. Scott Jason Sauer. Kyle Wade Spencer.
David Alexander Story. Lawrence Osgood III.
Jacob Reed Vaughn.
Sarah Elizabeth Hyder.
Zachary Austin Walker.
Kyle Austin Wilson.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio and the laws and ordinances of the City of Columbus,
City of Gahanna.
City of Grove City. City of Hillary.
City of New Albany.
Dean Ohio State University.
City of Westerville.
and the rules and regulations of the Department of Public Safety, Division of Police, and that I will not affiliate with a defined hate group. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Police Officer, Division of Police, Department of Public Safety, City of Columbus,
City of Gahanna.
City of Grove City. City of Hillary.
City of New Albany.
Dean Ohio State University.
City of Westerville.
Columbus, Ohio,
City of Ohio.
New Albany, Ohio.
Westville, Ohio.
to which I have been appointed, according to law, and to the best of my ability. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me congratulate our new officers.
Thank you, Director. Class, seats. Please join me in welcoming Deputy Chief of Police Tim Becker.
Good morning. On behalf of Chief Bryant, I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. As I walked across the stage this morning, I couldn't help but notice a few people looking down at their programs, wondering how many more speakers until the party get to begin. So while you just got to stand up, I'm going to do something a little interactive. If you recognize yourself in any of these statements and you're able to stand, please stand and remain standing. Current and former members of our military. Current and former members of law enforcement. Directors of public safety overseeing their last graduation after 40 years. First responders. Essential workers during the pandemic. Elected officials. Mothers, fathers, spouses, partners, clergy, relatives of our graduates, parents, and children. Now, if that doesn't include everybody, I mean. 135th please stand and give them a round of applause. Thank you. Seats. Everybody can be seated. Without the love and support of all these people that were standing, you would not be here today. So we need to remember that throughout our career. Now for the men and women on stage. Many of these men and women tested for this position in 2019. I think it's fair to say a lot has changed in our world since then, especially in the world of law enforcement. Despite a pandemic, they remained committed. Despite social unrest, they remained committed. Despite fears that their class may get canceled, they remained committed. Despite several tragic situations involving CPD officers and 3 different people filling the role of chief since they started in December, they remained committed. But they've not only remained committed, they've worked extremely hard and are raising their hands to serve our community at a time when the community needs them most. They learned a new language, the 10 code, and developed a new appreciation for words and phrases already in their vocabulary, such as front-leaning rest position and post. Most even learned how to speak Borchilian, a language that replaced now retired, or the language used by now retired Officer Page. The males got to experience low-maintenance hairstyles, even if their loved ones cringed when they looked at them daily. They found new bodies within themselves, and more importantly, found that they can push themselves beyond self-imposed limits. They experienced tasers and pepper spray. One recruit was even lucky enough to have the opportunity to shave immediately before the pepper spray. They learned there's consequences, especially for calling female officers sir, for not keeping their guard up during boxing. And at least one officer learned that even during pandemic traffic enforcement, you still have to obey the law or you may get a ticket. Most importantly, they learned that they're imperfect humans who make mistakes. And they learn that there's consequences to mistakes. And through that, they also learn compassion. For all they have gone through, I ask you to give them a round of applause. Now, as they prepare for their next phase of training, because in this career, training never ends, it gives a better understanding to all of us the effort it took for them to get to this point. And just being here today, I would like to submit to you that this is what successful policing looks like. Going forward, I ask that everyone in the room continue to publicly support officers and others serving in public service. Feeling the love of the community is what motivates officers to risk their lives for strangers. Every parent in the room knows that we can both unconditionally love someone and hold those loved ones accountable. And that's what the division is going to do for these men and women. Officers, you have a lot of work to do. You need to develop strong relationships in our community. And while you're compassionately enforcing the laws that hold others accountable, you need to do so with respect, and you need to ensure that the accountability that you enforce starts from within. Together, we can reverse these national trends that have been spoken about and be the model of how the world should police. And for that, I'd like to congratulate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. We will now hear from the class order, Officer Riley Mitchell.
Greetings and congratulations, members of the 135th recruit class of the Columbus Police Academy. Today, we find ourselves surrounded by one another alongside our families and the recruit training staff, who have provided much needed support during these past months. Before we begin in earnest, I'd like to express my profound gratitude to both my own family and the families of all those present. In these turbulent times, having support at home is immensely important, and without your support, many of us would not be where we are now. Truly, honestly, thank you. To the recruit training staff, you've been very patient with us. You've guided us into the world of policing as we know it today and given us the tools to carry on the great and noble task with which we are endowed. Your teachings and training are the finest we could ask for, and I know I speak for the entire 135th recruit class when I say that we are eternally grateful for your efforts. In what feels like the blink of an eye, you have taken the raw stock that we came in as and molded us into police officers. You forever have our thanks and our respect. To the city officials who we are honored to have here with us today, I am truly confident that you will be impressed by the performance of these new officers. We've worked hard and are eager to serve the city. Thank you for your consideration, for your patience, and for being here with us on this day of immense importance. Thank you for all you do for us, and know that we are excited to be a part of the Columbus team. And finally, to the class of the hour, what shall I say of us? That we have worked hard, that we are prepared, that we are a family? No. That has been said before. I have far more to say about this class. We are the face of the future in our careers. Our actions will define a whole profession moving into a new era of policing. Much of it will be difficult and contrarian, but we've been taught well that orders can change at a moment's notice, and we can withstand the rigors and growing pains that come with change. As Dwight D. Eisenhower once addressed the soldiers about to assault Normandy, France, the eyes of the world are upon you. We know it will be difficult, but we will endure. We will endure because of our combined strength and our individual resolve. We've been PT'd and tested, stressed and strained, for some of us more than we ever thought possible. We've done countless front, stop, go sessions out on the pad. Some of us owe the entire class an essay. We have seen dear friends and fellow recruits injured terribly and cheered them on through their recovery. Through it all, we have laughed, brushed ourselves off, and said, same time tomorrow? We've been prepared as best one can reasonably be for what lies ahead. Trust in your training and believe in yourselves. As we look back down the long road that led us to this point, I'd like to posit a single word, and I'd like each of you, for just a moment, to consider its meaning. Officer. The title that every member of the 135th recruit class has worked these many months to affix to the beginning of their name. During our time at this academy, we have been taught through and through that our actions, intentions, and words all bear a meaning beyond their obvious external motives. Integrity, compassion, accountability, respect, and excellence. The meanings of all of these have been PT'd and drilled into our minds. The meanings of arrest and detention, the definition of a Terry stop, commanders, intent, and riot formations. What is the meaning of officer? To be an officer in the city of Columbus is to be a guardian angel to the people who cry out for help, to be there when they have nowhere else to turn, to do much for others and ask for little in return, to declare to all the malcontents and wrongs dispensed upon the people we are sworn to protect with smoldering stoicism and fierce determination, give me you at your worst. I will give you myself at my best. To be an officer is an honor and a privilege, hard won by those who hear the call to a higher service. It is difficult. At times it seems insurmountable. But the troubles that face us ere crumble and weather away, and we remain standing, worn but vigilant.
And despite the seeming vortex of challenges that face us, we press on. We treat those we are called to with dignity and kindness. We do not allow the horrible tragedy and pain so often encountered in our line of work to seep into our hearts and corrupt us. To be an officer is to be worn and beaten and still rush to the aid of someone in need for no other reason than that it is right. It will be difficult. It will seem insurmountable. And we will succeed anyway. And at night, when the bustling metropolis of Columbus quiets, and the streets become hushed and peaceful, and its inhabitants lie down to sleep, officers here sleep more soundly, knowing that those streets are peaceful because Columbus officers keep them so. 135th Recruit Class, stand tall and smile. You are the toughest, bravest, kindest, and most resilient that Columbus, Westerville, Hilliard, Gahanna, New Albany, Grove City, and the Ohio State University have at their disposal. You are your jurisdiction's finest. Thank you all for your time. It has been a tremendous honor.
Thank you, Officer Mitchell. Deputy Chief Becker will now present the class awards. On July 7th, 2021, the class took the state certification exam and earned an average score of 90.86%. Officer Adam Showalter receives the Scholastic Award for maintaining an academic grade point average of 97% for 31 weeks of training. Yes. The Physical Fitness Award is achieved with 7 months of hard work based on flexibility, stamina, endurance, and power. The Fitness Award winner earned 96.4%, Officer Kenneth Cradoff. Officer Jacob Vaughn receives the Defensive Tactics Award of Excellence and Coin for outstanding performance throughout all defensive tactics training. And the Shooters Award is awarded based on totaled scores from 27 runs of the OPATA course, 3 runs of the City 1 course, and 3 runs of the City 2 course. The winner of this award shot a 98.2%, or 2,578 out of 2,625 points. Officer Zachary Rome. At this time, Sergeant Lindsay Ally would like to recognize 3 former police cadets, Officers Timothy Montgomery, Ashley Parker, and Ashley Reyes. In addition, Officers Ashley Parker and Ashley Reyes are being recognized for their participation in the Columbus Police Explorers Program. All 3 of you, please step forward. Now we will present the graduation certificates to the class. Photographs may be taken during the presentation. Feel free to move to the front when your officer receives their certificate. But please hold your applause until all the certificates are handed out. Class, 10, up. Left, face. Zachary D. Rome. Douglas L. Reisinger. Trier A. Knieper. Shaquille M. Perry. Riley A. Mitchell. Kelsey M. Alley. Nana G. Amawako. David G. Angevine II. Fred R. Armstrong III. Bashir A. Aziz. Adam K. Bauer. Jordan L. Burgos. Philip R. Callahan. Jacob C. Capretta. Jesse A. Chandler. Kevin C. Cheney. Michael D. Church. Nicholas L. Cook. Kenneth K. Cradoff. Ricky L. Craig II. Nicholas J. Demidovich. Emily A. Downing. David J. P. Feltner. William G. S. Foster. Andrew J. Hickman. Steve J. Huber. Robert J. Hypes. Quinn M. Izar. Lilia Jimenez. Brenda J. Johnson. Macy N. Johnson. Caleb J. Lowry. Ian E. Mansberger. Ariel J. Marion. Timothy R. Montgomery, Jr. Justin M. Napier. Keisha L. Orsini. Amy D. Ortega. E. H. Ortega. Ashley M. Parker. Isaac T. Pfeiffer. Edward J. Powell IV. Ashley Reyes. Adam W. Showalter. Scott J. Sollers. Kyle W. Spencer. Xavier A. Story. Lawrence A. Tucker. Jacob R. Vaughn. Sarah E. Wagner. Zachary A. Walker. Kyle A. Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, the 135th Columbus Police Recruit Class. Class 10, hook. Several years ago, the Academy instituted class guide-on flags as a tradition of the Columbus Police Academy. We invited past classes to purchase their own flags, and as you can see, the response was overwhelming. As part of that tradition, all graduating classes purchased the class guide-on for some of the earliest recruit classes, those whose members are no longer with us. In this manner, the new honors the old. The 36th recruit class graduated on May 1st, 1967, and there were 36 officers in the class. The 135th recruit class will now post the colors for the 135th and the 36th recruit classes. Guide-ons, post. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the benediction by Rabbi Berman.
Some years ago, I had the privilege of spending some extended time with my colleague and teacher, Rabbi Harold Kushner, a distinguished author. And he challenged me with a seemingly simple question. What is the command most repeated in the Bible? And the answer, perhaps surprisingly, is Al Tira. Had to show off with some Hebrew. That means, don't be afraid. Al Tira, repeated over and over again from messages and exhortations to leaders of the people, to the great prophets, to those who are in trouble and in need of help. The message is, don't be afraid. There is physical fear, there is emotional fear, there is the fear of not being able to live up to a task, and there are so many other sources of uncertainty around us. Al tira, don't be afraid. It is through all of history, confidence in the realization that we are engaged in something that really matters, that we stand for something that counts, that we are doing God's work, that gives us confidence when nothing seems to be going as it should. And we pray to be able to live up to that challenge, Al Tira. May God be with you always. To all those who have distinguished themselves in preparing for this morning and will distinguish themselves going forward, may God give you strength. May God give you confidence, and may God bless us all with peace. And we say, amen.
You may be seated. Thank you for sharing in this graduation. After the ceremony, you're invited to tour the academy and view the police equipment displays located in the cafeteria and outside. And at 11:30, you're invited to view the final formation to be held in the courtyard in the center of the building. Please remain at your seats until the officers have left the auditorium. Ladies and gentlemen, the 135th recruit class is now ready to move on to the field training program. Sergeant Barker, the class is yours.
Let's right. Peace. Forward. March. Go left. Go left. Go left. Right. Go left. Go left. Go left. Right. Go left. Go left. Go left. Right. Training here has been so fun. Training here has been so fun.
This concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for attending.